Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Back here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, for another episodic show, Chaos Corner, and our retro review for WrestleMania 7 Part 2. Go back and check out, it's about a little less than an hour. Our review, Part 1 of WrestleMania 7, leads us right here to Part 2 of WrestleMania 7. Now you know what I'm trying to do here on the channel. Go to the community page, like, subscribe, leave a comment, email me, inbox me, do something. I'm trying to watch as many WrestleManias leading into this year, 2024, and WrestleMania 40 in early April in Philadelphia. So we've already done WrestleMania 1, 2, and 3 here on the channel. We also did an unbelievable AEW Revolution watch along. Check that out as well. And now we are in WrestleMania 7 to go a little bit forward for useless tidbits of priceless historic information instead of doing them like every other podcaster and every other watch along and every other show who tries to do it in order. We don't do it here. We're going to WrestleMania 7 because of the whole controversy with the Gulf War and the Persian Gulf and everything going on over there with our military, which I salute right now. And Sergeant Slaughter and his controversial gimmick going up against against Hulk Hogan, and Slaughter was the champion. This was the last televised match of the Hart Foundation together, Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who lost the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, as we just saw, against the Nasty Boys. And of course, the WrestleMania debut of The Undertaker. So that's why we try to get historical significance of jumping around here to the different WrestleManias instead of going in chronological order. Stay tuned to the channel. Over 1,000 subscribers. We're shooting for 1 million total views. We have 2,700, 2,800 videos on here. Everything that you can think of, from border to border and coast to coast, that you wouldn't believe, from storytelling to book reviews to live to tape watch-alongs covering the current product, the pay-per-views at AEW, WWE. We do it all here to this date in pro wrestling history. That's what you get here. And of course, my 30-year career in the ring as a pro wrestling manager, even to this day, doing the color commentary and play-by-play at times for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Remember that, fans. And of course, my 50 years of being a researcher, historian, agent, scout, producer, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. No super chats, no Patreon, no paywalls, no Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, whatever it is that you guys use. You want to become a member for $2 or $3? That's on you. Not necessary. Appreciate it, but not necessary. I'm not here for that. I'm here to love, motivation, passion, a distraction for you fans and for me, for what's going on in this world, from wars to racial division to the country being invaded, to all the bullshit politics, the government, the overreach, AI, the universe, the system, the planet, everything you can think of that's going on. That's why I'm here. All right, I had a coffee. Let's get back to Part 2 for WrestleMania 7 at the Los Angeles Coliseum Arena. You know the whole story, security reasons for the Sarge, and as I said, the Gulf War, and they didn't want to hold it in a 100,000-seat Memorial Coliseum there in Los Angeles. The ticket sales just weren't that good, even though 16+ thousand's amazing. Not the traditional of what we know from WrestleMania, the attendance figures. We've already seen the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, go over on Dino Bravo. We've already seen the British Bulldog go over on the Warlord. We've already seen the Rockers defeat the Barbarian and Haku. We've already seen the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles change hands as the Nasty Boys defeated the Hart Foundation. And of course we know why, because of that damn megaphone in Jimmy Hart. Coming up, Virgil against the $1 Million Man. Mr. Perfect and the Big Boss Man. Unbelievable. The Ultimate Warrior and the Macho Man, Macho King Randy Savage with Queen Sherry. There's a couple other matches sprinkled in there. The Hammer and the Earthquake. I believe the LOD against Power and Glory. So we still have a ways to go. That's why it's a Part 2. I don't anticipate a Part 3. But if I continue to rumble on here and ramble on, sing my song, I'm gonna ramble on. No, Led Zeppelin. No, we don't want any copyrights. I gotta give you some entertainment. We have the old system, the old op board, the old setup here. We have the bitch over in a corner. I don't want to get into it. And this is what we're doing. Raw dog, old school style here with the G.O.C. That's what you get, man. So let's go back into the time machine for March 24th, 1991 from the Los Angeles Sports Arena for Wrestlemania 7. Part 2 here, fans. Check out Part 1. Drop a fucking elbow on that like button, will you please? As I always say, we're going into the blindfold match. Okay, we are going into the blindfold match between Jake the Snake Roberts and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That's what's coming up here on the live to tape watch along. Don't forget to look at the dome piece here. Let's see what going. Again, I have the old op board. I got the double shades on. Come on. Prescription. Oh, please, let's not get crazy. As we go back into the time machine, again, WrestleMania 7, not one of the best ones, you could say. Let's see what's happening here. Are we having technical difficulties here with the old op board? Are we having technical difficulties here? Everybody stand by. Stand by, fans. Stand by here on Chaos Corner. Let's see what's going on. You guys think I'm kidding, right? On the old thing and the dual sections here, you think I'm kidding. Oh, I'm not kidding. This is how we do it here. Motivation, passion, raw dog. I tell you guys that all the time. Now I think you believe me. Now that we got this out of the way, the old stars and bars, as the arena was set up there in the LA Sports Arena with the American flag and the old style stars and bars and stars and stripes, and it really was quite the setup. And they're leading into showing the vignettes of, they're showing Jake the Snake Roberts right now getting his eyes taped up when the model allegedly threw fire at him, and they're on Superstars with Brother Love and I Love You. It was some sort of, not fire, but some sort of solution he threw at Jake the Snake, who just DDT'd Brother Love Pritchard. Let's not get into that. Let's keep it positive. 1991, remember the era here. The model Rick Martel was actually a heel, and this is where Jake the Snake was a face. Let that sink in. Jake the Snake Roberts was a face here in 91, and the model, the pompous, narcissistic ass, Rick Martel, was the heel. And you remember, he blindfolded, or blinded, not blindfolded, with salt or a lotion, I don't think it was fire, some sort of chemical agent into the eyes of Jake the Snake Roberts was the storyline. And this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks, fans. I mean, the storyline, there was truly long-term booking leading into this blindfold match, and that was the stipulation, so the model could feel like what Jake went through, so they could be even here in this match. So kind of a crazy concept, but there's the bell. Here we go. We're 8 minutes in WrestleMania 7 Part 2, and only as he could look with the little tie, bow tie on, the purple one, the hair slicked back, the model Rick Martel and Jake the Snake Roberts. No Damien, I believe, on this one on WrestleMania 7, if I'm not mistaken, fans. Let me get a little honor to Jake. No, not Jake Rob. This isn't a red Solo cup. This is green tea. The City of Angels in Los Angeles. No, I'm wrong. Jake the Snake is coming to the ring with Damien, and you could hear the pop in the crowd, or probably not, between the background noise and what's going on here in my commentary. Again, let that sink in. There's, you talk about the traditional changing of heel to face to heel, and what guys were able to pull it off, and who was able to make it successful and return back to their prior persona. It's not an easy thing to do if you sit down and think about it. So here we go. The fans, over 16K in Los Angeles. Jake the Snake Martel in the purple trunks, the purple knee pads. Jake the Snake, the traditional long tights, the Los Angeles Sports Arena, Los Angeles, California, with the G.O.C. on Chaos Corner for WrestleMania 7. And there's Vlad. There's the infamous Vlad out there at WrestleMania 7 in Los Angeles. Go out and see that documentary on the network of Vlad, the super fan, Vladimir. And there he is, history in the making, 1991 WrestleMania. And what a documentary that came out in 2023. Vladimir, the super fan. Go out and watch that documentary. It was tremendous. And Vlad is like every one of you out there. So go out and check that documentary out. And now the blindfold is over Jake the Snake and Rick Martel. Black blindfolds between the two of them as they're pointing around. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they play. No, too early? Too late? Too soon? Martel, beside himself, holding on to the ring ropes. Jake's in the middle of the ring, searching around. Both men wearing blindfolds. This is a blindfold match, WrestleMania 7. I think I said mash, as in mashed potatoes. Martel now on his knees in the middle of the corner with the blindfold, reaching around like if you were blind. I don't know if you guys ever went through any training in law enforcement or fire school or the D.O.C. or anything like that, or just in life, or have family members that may unfortunately be blind. And Jake the Snake out of nowhere seems to grab Martel, who rolls away. Both men wearing that black hood. Martel falls over Jake the Snake. Snake goes to pin him up. It's a 2 count. Kicks out. The two of them have found each other in the middle of the ring with the blindfolds on, choking each other out. Martel on top of Jake the Snake, laying in those left-handers. Remember, Martel was a lefty. I don't know if you guys, again, unfortunately have someone that's been blind in your family. My grandfather at one time was blind. Later on in his life, when I was a young boy, I used to have to walk him around the neighborhood, take him out for walks, and keep him socializing, and because he was my grandfather. Yes, so I could relate to what these two men went through here as a gimmick, plus my background in different law enforcement trainings and things that I've done throughout my career where I've had to train with masks on and fire masks and tin-foiled out, and to go through that experience of not being able to see in the dark or being blind in situations, natural disasters or otherwise, grid down, whatever you want to talk about. So I can relate it to real life. Both men on their feet. Jake the Snake Roberts, the model Rick Martel, as the heel in this match, searching around, looking like mimes, trying to see where they're going. Oh, Martel went running out of nowhere into the ropes. You know what that's like to not see the ropes and run into them? I told you, there's steel cables down to the canvas. Jake the Snake slithering around like the snake that he is, as a good guy, as a face. Martel throwing kicks and punches as he holds onto the ropes, and there's nobody within 5 feet of him. They got the big ring here at WrestleMania. A referee looks to be is that Danny Davis? I'm not sure. I can't tell. Thank God these are the prescriptions with the Oakleys. It is Danny Davis, so I could at least see. Again, it's the old op. If you guys saw the setup here, you would love it. It would bring you back to the 80s. Maybe the early 90s. Oh, Martel finds Jake the Snake. Big body slam by Martel, who's not sure where he is. Goes to drop an elbow, and Jake the Snake's in the corner. What a concept for the time, 1991. It was done before. It's been done throughout history to have the blindfold mask. I mean, the blindfold match. So it is basically a mask, but it's not really a mask what they're wearing. They're wearing the black hoods. And Jake the Snake grabs Danny Davis by mistake, thinking it might be Rick Martel. And again, the fans don't know what to make of this, but they are reacting. Again, a lot of people don't say much about WrestleMania 7, but there are some historical facts that are on this event at WrestleMania 7 in 1991. I told you at that point, we're on my 1991 in my late 20s. And again, Martel's in great shape. He really is the physical specimen. Oh, and Martel gets the referee in the corner, holds on to him, shoulder block. Wait, and the ref said, no, it's me. So Martel spins out of the corner, holding onto the ropes as Jake is kneeling down in the corner on the other side. Really quite the weird concept here of the blindfold match between Jake and Martel. Because, this storyline and the grudge between these two, and again, with Bruce Pritchard at that point doing his "I love you" with the red face and everything as Brother Love. I hated that character. I found it to be the most fucking annoying character, one of the most annoying I've ever seen in the WWF. And again, Martel on the canvas, searching around like he's out on the beach with one of those what do they call them? Treasure finders, hunters. I don't know what they call it. You know, looking for gold or diamonds or something or money on the beach with the navigator there. You guys know what I'm talking about. Now Snake is coming up behind Rick Martel. Look, and the Snake finds him. Martel into the ropes. Both grapplers into the ropes. I don't know what Danny Davis is trying to do. Martel escapes Jake the Snake. Jake backs off like a typical Snake slithering. I mean, he really does. He had this down to a science. Throwback to the old baseball scene that we are in spring training. I can't wait for baseball season. This sweatshirt right here in great shape. The 2000 Subway Series. Mets Yanks. Now this is history for history. But this is much more history here in 1991. WrestleMania 7 blindfold match. Jake the Snake Roberts, Rick Martel. Here we go. Martel on his knees into the corner, and he grabs Damien. He grabs the bag. He knows it's the Snake. He's freaking out. He falls backwards, almost right into the hands of Jake. Jake just barely misses him. Jake's got him by the legs. He's got him by the ankles, and Martel grabs the ropes. Again, this is if you haven't seen this in a while, or if you haven't seen it at all, go out and check WrestleMania 7 out. Just like I can do here, you could fast forward it through. You could watch it on the network. You could have a party. You could do whatever you want. Invite your friends. Watch it here. Watch along with it and see my commentary during the matches. And for every time I say a certain word, I don't know, maybe have a cocktail. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not advocating for anything except for being here. Both men finally to their feet. WrestleMania 7. Blindfold match between the Snake and the Model. Trying to find each other. Looks like they're within inches of each other. And there it is. Jake, out of nowhere, grabs a side headlock off the ropes. Big shoulder block by the Snake. Snake goes out of the ring with the hood on as Martel's in the middle of the ring. It was amazing they were able to, listen, I get it, it's a work. They were able to get the side headlock on, bounce off the ropes, and did a big shoulder block, and Jake went tumbling outside the ring with the hood on. And now Martel was out there too. I don't know what the heck he's looking for. I don't know why he's grabbed a chair. You can't see anything. He's trying to poke around. He's poking into thin air. Outside of the ring, both grapplers outside. Jake finally rolls in, and there's Martel outside of the ring with a chair and the hood on, and he's just like poking to see if anybody's near him or within view. And there's Vlad. You can see Vladimir, the super fan, right there at ringside. Go out and check out the documentary. Oh, and he goes to swing the chair, and he hits the steel post, the metal post. That'll reverberate like if you were ever playing baseball in the cold and a hard wooden bat. Crack off that baseball. Talk about stinging your hands. Martel into the ring. Looks like a low blow to Jake the Snake. They found each other. Martel picks up Jake. Big backbreaker. It's amazing these two have found each other in this blindfold match. He's going for a Boston Crab. Martel's trying to get Jake the Snake over into a Boston Crab, and he's got it. Martel's got Jake the Snake in a Boston Crab. He's trying to lean back. Jake kicks out. Martel face first into the turnbuckle. WrestleMania 7. The G.O.C. Live to tape watch along. Green tea, coffee, Hall's Mentholyptus, bagels. Out of nowhere, Jake grabs Martel. DDT, bang! Beautiful DDT by Jake. Cover him, Jake. Go to the right. Come on, what are you doing? Black cherry as opposed to honey lemon. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3, there it is. Jake found him. There's the cover. And in the blindfold match, Jake the Snake Roberts with a DDT bang out of nowhere. Down goes Martel. Rick Martel is persona non grata. And Jake takes off the hood, and there he is in all his splendor. Martel is out goes the lights. Remember Dandy Don Meredith and Frank Gifford and Howard Cosell or John Madden, whoever the fucking combination was. Turn out the lights, the party's over. Old school Monday Night Football. I don't know. Dandy Don, Darren Deerdorf, Pat Summerall, whoever it was. Somebody leave a comment. Now Jake is going over and getting that purifier, that sniffer, that perfume thing that that Rick Martel carried around back as the heel and would spray stuff into your face, and he puts the boots to it and smashes it, and now he's going for the snake. I've had that fucking snake thrown on me. I'll never forget it, Jake the Snake. You got a receipt coming, man. Don't think I forgot that you threw the snake on me. You and Yokozuna, rest in peace, Yoko, but Jake, you're still here. And he throws the snake on the model. Oh, look at the size of the snake. It's just wrapping around him. When a snake feels your heat, when it feels your body heat, it wraps up around you. Jake told me that himself. He said, Chaos, he said, Big Daddy, if you're sweating, if you're overheating, the snake feels it. And he's just going to wrap that much tighter around you. I didn't forget about that, you son of a bitch. And there he is, slithering in the ring. Jake the Snake's Damien slides out to Jake, who picks him up. Look at the size, the monstrosity. And Martel is exit stage left. Jake the Snake with the victory as he holds up that python. Damien, holy bejesus, holy cramoli. WrestleMania 7 got the heebie-jeebies with the snake. Yeah, that's right. I had the snake thrown on me. Let me get going here, guys. Hey, look at the top of the head, will you? Let's see what we got going here. We don't want to get too crazy. We have big matches coming up, big bouts coming up. In the ring now, in 91 here, Snuka's career, if you watch Dark Side of the Ring, if you know anything about the Superfly and the leap off the top of the cage and just his whole career as the Fijian, I love you, brother. You know, I worked with Jimmy several times and his son. So I've had that opportunity to work with Superfly in the ring. Took the giant headbutt from him, the coconut. I tried to smash it over his head, and unfortunately I missed the Superfly and busted open Jackmaster John Diamond's head. Gave him like 4 staples. We were at Boston General like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, Diamond. I didn't mean to, man. Superfly moved. Here we go. Again, go out and check Dark Side of the Ring. Snuka had his demons like a lot of the guys did. But here's the historical facts on this one. Snuka takes on The Undertaker. That's right, Mean Mark Callis, whatever you want to call him, Twin Towers, we'll do it. The Undertaker. Kane the Undertaker, whatever the fuck it is you want to call him. Here he is in 1991, making his WrestleMania debut that started the streak. And there's Paul Bearer with the golden urn, a.k.a. Percival Pringle. Rest in peace, Percy. As you, Jimmy Superfly, who definitely had his demons, but it is what it is. I'll respect and try to keep a focus to what he did in the ring and how he treated me personally. And of course, you know that The Undertaker's debut in the WWF was against Mario Mancini, the owner of Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. That's right, the one and only. My former podcast partner, Mario Mancini, was the debut match, the official debut bout of The Undertaker in the World Wrestling Federation. Let that marinate. And here's The Undertaker, WrestleMania 7, Los Angeles, making his debut. As I said, I'm repeating, to the infamous streak. The long locks and red hair of The Undertaker back then, the true gimmick. As he takes over on Snuka right away, Snuka looks at him, doesn't know what to even think of him, and you know how deranged and what a legit badass in real life Jimmy Snuka was. Undertaker taking over in the corner, throwing those right hands to the proboscis, to the jawline, to the chin, to the throat, to the larynx of the Superfly, hammering him around from post to post. Wow. Undertaker laying in the right hand, slow, methodical. Now remember, this is his WrestleMania debut. Trying to choke, has Snuka against the ropes, and just with those huge hands across the throat of Snuka, really pounding the unbelievable phenom known as the Superfly, the Fijian. Undertaker throws him off the ropes, far side. That flying lariat out of nowhere, the Taker, and down goes the Superfly, who actually has boots on. He's into convulsions on the ring, the Superfly. No one's really taken it to the Superfly like the Undertaker's taken him to here in WrestleMania 7. I mean, I know Piper hit him with the coconut, and I know the wars they had, but Snuka always came back and held his own against everybody. Think about that. Right here, the Undertaker, who's at this point not green, but at one point greener than a pepper tree, and for the business and compared to Snuka at this time, think about this. still choking him out in the corner. Irish whip to the far side, reversal by Superfly, into the corner. Superfly wrestles him, big knee to the Fijian's jib. Jimmy's outside the ring as Paul Bear holds the arm for the Undertaker. I know, I'm getting a little carried away. I get it, man. Snuka trying to get that back in the ring, and the Taker's not letting him. Gonna bring him in the hard way. Here it is. Taker hooking him up. Snaps him up and over, brings him in the hard way. Beautiful suplex, and then falls back to the other side of the ring. The Taker on Superfly. Superfly is out. Undertaker adjusting the gloves, setting him up. Going for the big elbow drop, and he misses. Snook at the last second was able to roll out of the way. Oh, look at the Undertaker. I mean, Paul Bear coddling his urn. And now Superfly, finally. A couple of rights, martial arts chops, back edge. Beautiful chops. Big headbutt on the Undertaker. A left to the midsection. A chop to the upper chest of the Undertaker. Big headbutt by the Superfly. Undertaker a little weary. Far side. Nice reversal by the Undertaker. Misses with the clothesline. Superfly goes for the leaping, flying body press. Undertaker ducks. Jimmy up and over the ropes outside of the ring. Snuka landed outside of the ring, up and over. The Undertaker ducked, and that was it. Superfly dove into nothing but thin air. This bitch is something, isn't she? Alexa, play Tropical Thunderstorm sounds. Even though it's bright and sunny here in the greater New England tri-state Northeast area. Off the top rope, going for a slingshot body press by the Superfly. Undertaker catches him midair. Lets him down. Brings him back up with a right area between the eyes on Superfly. Picks up the Superfly like a mere infant. He's setting him up. Here it is. The Tombstone at Wrestlemania 7. Bang! Undertaker, wrap him up, hits the Tombstone, crisscross, 1, 2, 3, Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, it's persona non grata! Undertaker wins his WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania 7 with the Tombstone piledriver over the Superfly and handled him with quite ease. Remember, we're in 1991 here on Chaos Corner, WrestleMania 7. Stand by. Oh, the Undertaker's debut. The streak started here on Chaos Corner. All right, let's see what we got, fans. Stand by. We go into the Ultimate Warrior and King Macho. Is that what's coming up? It is the Ultimate Warrior. Think where he was in 91. Go out and see his Dark Side episode. Unbelievable. And we know the story of Macho Man. They have an episode on him, too. A&E, biography, Dark Side, Vice, whatever the fuck it is you want to call it. There's Liz. Liz is in the corner. She's in the crowd. No, she's in the crowd. Elizabeth is in the crowd. And here he comes. The Macho King at this point. Oh, yeah. Being carried to the ring. Him and Queen Sherry being carried by a bunch of minions on a big throne. Now remember with this whole King of the Ring, and they had King Haku, King Harley Race, King Sierras, and now the Macho King. There's only one really king in pro wrestling, and that's Jerry the King Lawler. Black Cherry. Would you agree with that? Because I would. And there's Queen Sherry, truly one of the greatest women in professional wrestling ever. In all personas, as a manager, as a worker, as a talent, as a persona. Queen Sherry, probably on my Mount Rushmore of women in the world of pro wrestling and its history. And there's the Macho Man, white and blue and silver rhinestones, and the hat and the robe and the tassels. Now, remember how they tried to have the Warrior replace Hogan. You guys know the whole story and the history. If not, go out and duck go it. I'm not going to be like everybody else says, go Google it. I don't follow. I'm not a follower. I am a trendsetter. So duck go it. We know all the history. And again, go out to these channels from Vice to A&E and so on and so forth to the documentaries on the network. And do your due diligence. A lot of people know about the Macho Man and know about the Ultimate Warrior, but go back and research it as we watch here along and let it set in and where they were at this point in their career in 1991 here at WrestleMania 7. Now, we know the Warrior. He never did replace Hogan. He didn't really draw like that. And we know the feud between the mega powers of Macho and Hogan and down to WCW. Just giving you a historical perspective at 30 minutes in here. I hope we don't have to do a part 3. I like to try to get it all in here for the entertainment value prospecting of it all. And here comes the Warrior, and just about every color from teal to pink to yellow to green, all decked out in all the different colors, and the face paint, a brother in paint with the big shoulder pads. You know the Ultimate Warrior, right? Shaking the ropes, and how he used to come in like a maniac. Not here at WrestleMania 7. Coming to the ring, mild energy, not too crazy. And there he is. And there it is. There's the traditional Warrior going crazy on the ring apron, shaking the ropes. It's back. The energy's back. But if you remember when the Warrior came to the ring back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, late 80s mainly, came in like he was, I don't know, all beamed up or something like that. So here we go. The Ultimate Warrior and the Macho King, Randy Savage, the Macho Man, and that's what I'll call him. Savage and Queen Sherry take a powder as the Ultimate Warrior, the crowd clearly behind the Warrior. How about that blindfold match, huh? Jake as a face. Who knew? Macho Man's in now, and there's the Warrior up on a rope. Macho, and like I said, the blue and white sequins and all the tassels and the cowboy hat and the whole colorful outfit, vest, long duster on Ultimate Warrior, and the Queen and the silver looking like a flapper from the 40s type dancer, going back to those times. Wow. Hebner, what do you call Hebner? Both of them. I guess they're good enough guys, but man, do they have a lot of longevity, involved in a lot of controversy. Somebody ought to do a story, an A&E story on the Hebner brothers, the referees, the twins there. Again, this is what you did. This is what you're supposed to do. Let the crowd feel it. Let the crowd sense it. Let Sherry stay up there on the apron. Okay? Ring generalship, showmanship. Don't go in there within 30 seconds after the bell or the introduction. You lock up, play to the crowd, see how they're going to respond, see what you can do. Let the first 3 to 5, however minutes it takes, if that's the way it's dictated. That's right, I said dictated. And listen and feel for the crowd. And that's what misses here in 2024. And I say it all the time as a guy who knows wrestling. I almost was going to just jump right to the action there because the Macho Man bounces off the ropes. And here we go. The Warrior in pink boots, multicolored trunks and the tassels on his arms and on his legs. Sherry looking like a dancer, a flapper from the 40s. That's what they called them, flappers. That's what they called the dancers back then in the day, in the 40s. And the Macho Man in the full outfit. Again, the Macho Man's not showing, usually from the waist up, he was bare-chested. And there's Liz in the crowd, still playing that gimmick. Obviously, they were still together. But she's sitting in the audience there at WrestleMania 7 while he's with Queen Sherry. And again, the blue and white silver sequins on the Macho Man, with the forearm pads, the forearm like Iron Mike Sharp used to wear, all white with sequins. And again, Macho used to always be shirtless, but not in this bout in WrestleMania 7. Collar and elbow lockup. And then, of course, the Ultimate Warrior banging his chest like King Kong, throws Macho aside like he's a 12-year-old. Big lockup. Knee to the Lebans by Macho Man. Side headlock, and then rakes the eyes on the Ultimate Warrior. That's what you're supposed to do as Macho. Obviously, Warrior's the much bigger and stronger man. Macho Man, more athletic, more agile, more speed. Big shoulder block by the Warrior. Down goes Macho. And again, this is what Macho Man was at best. Taking the powder, gaining your wits, playing the crowd, playing the fans, and then slides back in there out of nowhere as Queen Sherry is distracting the Warrior. Macho comes up from behind. That's what a good manager does. Off the far side. Warrior throws the Macho. Big clothesline by the Warrior on Macho Man. Putting the boots to the Macho King. Holding him, hoisting him up above in that chokehold. And tosses him aside like yesterday's news, yesterday's garbage. Warrior picking up Macho again like he's a 12-year-old. Reverted atomic drop. Down goes the Macho King. The Warrior's having none of this guff to begin with. And think of the level of stardom at this 91 that these two were. Warrior got Macho high above. Big atomic knee drop again. Taking his time, Warrior, stalking the Macho Man. Think of how big these two were back then in the business. Queen Sherry's in the ring. Oh, and Warrior throws Macho Man on top of Queen Sherry, who takes an unbelievable bump and rolls out of the ring, and she's off the apron on the floor. Queen Sherry was amazing. I can't say enough about Sherry Martel. Go and check out her documentary and her biography. It's unbelievable lady. Big right hand by the Warrior on Macho Man. Down goes the Macho King. WrestleMania 7, Los Angeles. Oh, Macho Man tied up in the ropes. And now the Warrior's just going to put the boots to the midsection into the chest area of the Macho King as Hebner's trying to get him out. Hebner unties Macho Man off the ropes, far side. Misses with the clothesline, but a right to the Lebans on Macho Man. Warrior really taking over at this point, WrestleMania 7. Far side goes Macho. Goes for the back body drop, and King out of nowhere. The Macho King with thankfully, a boot to the chest of Warrior. Macho trying to gain his wits. Big clothesline, a left clothesline out of nowhere, and down goes the Warrior. It took everything from Macho Man to get that. And of course, nimble as it makes, mobile, agile, hostile, nimble, up to the top rope. Like a cat, Macho Man perched high in the air. Big body press, but Warrior catches him midair. The strength on the Ultimate Warrior holds him up, as I said before. I'm going to say it again, like a 12-year-old. Walking around with him, and then puts him down for some reason, and then just bitch slaps and paper. What are you doing, Warrior? You had your chance to take out the Macho Man right there. What the fuck did you do? The Warrior truly has the brain of a dehydrated baby. He had him up, could have slammed him, could have pinned him, could have won the match. Instead, he decides to insult him and slap him. Now Macho Man's outside of the ring, gaining his wits, going to grab a steel chair, tosses some of the local people there ringside, throwing chairs into the ring. Warrior, you blew it right there. And now out of nowhere, sneaks in like a sly cat to the back of the Ultimate Warrior. Going back and forth. Right hands. Down goes Macho Man. Warrior taking over. Big right hands. Picking it up in Canada all the way down through Tennessee and hits it down in the Carolinas. Boom, another right hand. Warrior. Down goes Macho Man. Macho Man resilient, tough, trying to come back from the apron. The canvas. This is kind of like almost the first time I saw it, right? Wouldn't you think this is like the first time I ever saw this? It's live right now? That's what you get here on this channel. Well, I am live. You guys get that, right? And now Warrior just putting the boots to the Macho Man down into the corner as they show Liz sitting, not ringside, but she's sitting down the entranceway. The Macho Man at this point is with Queen Sherry Martel, and you can tell it, the chains keep coming off here at Chaos Corner because of the insanity, the chaos. Again, Warrior all over the Macho Man. He's gotten the best of the Macho Man here at WrestleMania 7. Now, the Warrior didn't go real far after this. The Macho Man still went and did his thing and had a great career. A lot of careers went different ways here at WrestleMania 7. Savage in big trouble. The Warrior just pounding him from pillar to post. Irish whip, far side. Warrior rushes, dives, misses, goes over the top rope. He may have hit the ring post. The Warrior's outside, went over the top rope, over the turnbuckle. And there's Sherry. And Sherry, oh, whoa, they're showing Sherry from behind. What the heck was that? She picks him up. Oh, it's with those long nails. She hits him right into the throat. There was a full moon over Los Angeles that night with Sherry's rear. And she with those fingernails right across the throat. And now Macho Man off the top turnbuckle, outside of the ring, onto the double axe handle, onto the Warrior. The Warrior's still out. Wow! The Macho Man must have flew about 15 feet in the air. And there's Sherry again. That's what a manager does. And a big knee to the jib by Queen Sherry. And she's raking his eyes. I love it. With those long nails across the back. And now a Warrior pushes Sherry down. Sherry must have flew about 10 feet. Sherry's on her back. Out of nowhere, here comes the Macho Man. And that's what a manager does. She took the bump. Macho Man came up from behind. That's what you do as a manager. One of the few female managers that got the job done that was in the traditional role of a male manager. That's how you do it if you're going to be out there ringside. Macho Man back into the ring. Warrior's in big trouble. And again, Queen Sherry stalking him out of nowhere. She must have delivered 3 or 4 blows. And then a left to the Lebans with those big high heels. Macho dragging the Ultimate Warrior in. Wow. Picks up the Warrior. Give Macho Man credit. Good strength. Oh, and he drops the big knee across the throat. Here's the cover. Only a 1.5 there. The Hebner said 2. Hebner, what are you doing? Go back to the Montreal screw job. Oh, no, it wasn't yet then, huh? It was after this, you clueless brain of a dehydrated BB. Backslide by the Ultimate Warrior. Who knew? 2 count. Sherry's up on the apron. Oh, she's back down. Do I keep insulting Hebner? I kind of do, huh? Both men staring at each other. How could they still be on their feet? Macho Man jumps out of the ring, trying to gain his wits, trying to gain his composure. Very smart. What gamemanship. And look how he slides right back into the ring. And there's Queen on the other side, trying for a distraction. Warrior catches Macho, who went to kick him, spins him around. Big clothesline by the Ultimate Warrior. Macho's down, Macho's down, Macho's down. Warrior running from side to side. Back and forth on the ropes. He's going to confuse himself. He's getting dizzy. He's going back and forth. Goes for the big headbutt and he misses. Macho Man rolls out of the way. And now Macho's slamming Warrior's head into the ring. Into the apron. Here's the cover. Now it's not going to happen after that. Oh, look at this. And a side chin lock from behind. Actually a sleeper hold from the Macho Man as the Warrior's sitting on the canvas. Macho's on his knees behind him with really a sleeper hold. It would look like a side a chin lock. Isn't. It's into a sleeper hold. You better check for that choke. Because I was Macho. I'd be choking the Warrior. And again, Sherry up on her ring apron for about the 5th time. She's halfway in the ring. Bazonger's hanging everywhere. What are you doing, Sherry? Your asshole's hanging out. What's going on here? This is rated PG. Well, what are you doing here, Queen Sherry? What if somebody watches this? Macho Man still trying to choke out the Warrior. Again, all the pressure across the shoulders, the neck, the jawline, the head, the lower back of the Ultimate Warrior crushing in the windpipe. Crushing down on the diaphragm, the abdomen. How can the Warrior breathe? Again, these two men have gone back and forth. I'm going to give the edge to the Ultimate Warrior. And again, Queen Sherry at ringside is a huge distraction. We're 42 minutes in here on part 2 of WrestleMania 7. A live to tape watch along. Warrior back to his feet. Back elbow. Off the ropes. Shoulder block. Down goes Macho Man. Off the ropes. Step over. Misses with a clothesline. Both men double clothesline. And the Warrior's trying to get back to his feet. Both men are out in the middle of the ring from that double clothesline. And Queen Sherry is up in the ring again. Trying to will her man to wake up. Hebner's doing a double count to see who's going to get to his feet first. Queen Sherry's trying to help the Macho Man. Both men are still out. I don't know what Hebner's doing. Hebner now has broken up the count because of Queen Sherry. Again, I'm going to say that to say this. She's smart. She's on that apron. Macho Man's up. He picks up the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, small package. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ultimate Warrior with a small package on Macho Man, and he had him for a 9 count while Hebner was being distracted by Queen Sherry. A 9 count. Out of nowhere, a knee to the lower back, and Warrior goes face first into Hebner. Hebner's out. Hebner's on Queer Street. The Warrior's up against the ropes. Macho Man's grabbing the Warrior. What's Queen Sherry going to do? Queen Sherry is taking her belt off. What is she doing? Queen Sherry's taking her high heels off. Queen Sherry's going to the top rope. Sherry Martel's on the top rope. As Macho Man is holding the Ultimate Warrior. She goes to hit him with the high heels. She misses the Warrior and hits the Macho Man. The Macho King, if you will. Sherry's in stunned disbelief as she hit that 7-inch, 9-inch heel across the dome of the Macho Man. Hebner finally getting back up to his feet. The Warrior's going after Queen Sherry. Go fuck Queen Sherry. Don't go after her. I don't mean it literally. Go pin the Macho Man. Doesn't anybody want the win? Doesn't anybody want the money? Doesn't anybody want the winner's purse? Why are you letting Queen Sherry distract you as he chases her around the ring? Giving time for Macho Man to gain his wits. Sherry's in the ring. Warrior's still chasing her out to the other side of the ring. Macho Man's still down on the apron, but he's up now. Hebner's up. Schoolboy, small package. Here we go. Roll up. Only a 2 count. Warrior, even though you should have won this match, you could have lost it right there. What are you doing? What are you guys doing? They need to be under my tutelage. Warrior now. Right to the dome piece of the Macho Man. The Macho Man drops to the ring apron. I'm sorry, drops to the canvas. Grabs the trunks of the Warrior. Face first into the turnbuckle goes the Ultimate Warrior. Now Macho Man is taking over in the corner. Grabbing him by the proboscis. Oh, and he drops Warrior across the top rope. Picks him up and drops his throat across the top rope. Oh, Hebner, what are you doing now? Now you're worried about it? Stop showing Miss Elizabeth. Macho Man taking over on the Ultimate Warrior right now. We're at WrestleMania 7. Macho King jumping outside the ring. Warrior thrown across the ropes once again. No steel cables. Macho out of nowhere with a close to the back of the head. A clothesline to the back of the head. The Warrior rolls him over. Go for the pin. Go for the pin. Go for the pin. Instead, he picks up the Warrior. Big body slam by the Macho Man. Here's the cover. A 1.5 count. Warrior's in big trouble. Macho Man had your chance. You had your chance, and you almost lost it too. Macho Man going to the top rope. The Warrior's out in the middle of the ring. Here it is. The big elbow. Bang! And he hits it on the Ultimate Warrior. He's not covering him. He's going up again. What the fuck are you doing? Macho Man, Macho King, Macho Snap, whatever you want to call it. He's up there again. He's in the high rent. Bang! He hits it for a second time. He's going for a third attempt. I'm ready to snap into a Slim Jim. Macho Man, Macho King up to the top rope again. A prone Ultimate Warrior. Here it is. A third time. Bang goes the boom. The Warrior hasn't moved. The Warrior's persona non grata. He's out in the middle of the ring. Macho Man's going up for a fourth attempt on the flying elbow. What the fuck are we doing here? Bang! Boom! He hits it for a fourth time. The Warrior's got to be semi-unconscious by this time. And now we're going up for a fifth elbow drop from the top rope. Here it is. Macho's up there. Hebner's trying to count. I don't know what he's doing. Bang goes the boom. The fifth elbow drop from the top rope. Here's the cover. And he kicks up. What the fuck? I know I'm always complaining about the false finishes, but how does the Warrior kick up after 5 elbow drops a la the Macho Man, the best to ever do it from the top rope? Macho's beside himself. The Warrior's rolling over. He's trying to get to his feet. Double axe handles by the Macho Man. You don't give the Warrior, who seems to be at this point a Marvel comic book hero with super strength like the Incredible Hulk character, and he's shaking the ropes. In 91, if you knew anything, you don't give this man the chance after the 5 elbows from the top rope. Warrior's running in place. He's running in place around the ring, shaking the ropes. Macho's trying to throw right hands with no effect. The Warrior's dancing around. He looks like one of the Village People. Right hands to the Macho Man. Down goes the Macho King. Big clothesline. Another clothesline. He's from pillar to post, from rope to rope, and the Warrior's knocking down Macho with a series of clotheslines. And here it is. He wants to lift him up. He's raising him up, the Ultimate Warrior. Miss Elizabeth in the crowd, looking all meek, like a little large-eyed, moon eyes, deer and headlights. Sherry screaming like a lunatic, at ringside, and here it is, the Ultimate Warrior picking up the Macho Man like he's a 100-pound barbell, pressing him above his head, holding him high, and then drops him face first. The Flintstone flop off the ropes. Big splash on the lower back of Macho Man. Rolls him over, hooks the leg. Holy cramoly! Macho kicks out. Wow, fans. Ultimate Warrior, the Macho Man, WrestleMania 7. This is why I picked 7. Now, that doesn't matter what the reviewers say. It's about history. It's about the characters at the time, the personas. And the Warrior's looking up to the skies. Looking for his magical, mystical powers. Didn't he give the worst promos that you've ever seen in your life? He really did. Could you understand any of his promos? Because I couldn't, even back in the day, even watching it live to tape. Now he's just standing there in the middle of the Coliseum looking up to the skies. Well, to the top of the arena anyway. Looking to his hands. This is the part that makes it cartoonish. This is the part that I don't like. This is how they ruined, and the ratings went in the tank when it came to the early 90s, and when the WWF was in big trouble. It's this kind of BS, making everyone into a cartoon character, because that was the era. Once we got into the late 90s, rock and wrestling changed everything. We got into the late 80s, the late 80s into the early 90s, whether it was WCW or the WWF, it really was some terrible storylines and characters and gimmicks, and especially what the WWF did. And all this time as I'm talking, the Warrior's looking at his hands, looking up to the ceiling, looking at his hands. Hebner's trying to talk to him. The Macho Man's gaining his wits. I mean, just right here, terrible storytelling. Macho Man out of nowhere, clothesline on Warrior, who was on the apron. Warrior lands outside the ring. Macho Man's pursuing him. Macho Man's still in big trouble. Still staggering around like a drunk on leave, like a well, you know what I'm getting to say, right? I think I knew what I was saying. Both men outside of the ring. Macho Man laying the Ultimate Warrior over the guardrail. What's he going to do here? Queen Sherry helping him out. She's holding him. As the Macho Man, what's he going to do? Macho Man's going to go to the top. He's going to the top rope. He's going to the top of the turnbuckle. And it looks like he's going to jump from the top of the turnbuckle onto the Warrior. Sherry's holding the Warrior, who's got his throat across the steel railing. No, out of nowhere. He throws the Queen aside. Here comes the Macho Man, right to the breadbasket by the Warrior, and down goes the Macho Man, who was coming, 12 to 15 feet from the top of the turnbuckle to outside of the ring. Warrior picking up an injured Macho Man, rolls him back into the ring after that unbelievable leap. Warrior's shaking the ropes. He's shaking, looks like he's in convulsions. Back into the ring. Macho Man crawled to the center of the ring. Listen, stay with us. We're 51 minutes in. We're going to go to a part 3. Don't go anywhere. We have to go to a part 3. The Warrior's running in place. Once again, far side. Off the ropes. Second time. Big shoulder block. Down goes the Macho Man. Rolls out of the ring. Wow. And again, the Warrior talking to his hands. Pursuing Macho Man outside of the ring. That was a big shoulder block by the Warrior, who was a large individual. And again, he throws the Macho Man back inside the ring. WrestleMania 7, Los Angeles Coliseum, 1991. Here we go. Warrior once again jogging in place as he holds the Macho Man far side, off the ropes. Boom, big flying shoulder block again, and down goes Macho Man, rolls out of the ring. I don't know what the fuck the Warrior's doing here now, screaming to the skies. The same thing, brings him in, off the ropes once or twice, shoulder block, down goes Macho. Macho goes out of the ring, Warrior goes out and gets him, tosses him back in the ring. What are we doing? Does anybody want to win? Rolls Macho Man back in. And there's Bambi Elizabeth. Oh, I'm sorry. Warrior, again, jogging in place, grabbing the Macho Man by his head. Far side, ropes again. The same old song and dance. The flying shoulder block, and down goes the Macho Man outside of the ring once again. Repetitive again. Whether it's this era or a current era, I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because right now, this is the shits and isn't working for me. And now he's just standing on him with his foot, hands raised, and that's how it ends. After this series of shoulder blocks, I get it. It's like Wardlow's power bombs. He stands on top of the Macho Man with his feet and pins him 1, 2, 3. No pin, no hookup, just stands above him like this and pins the Macho Man, and that's how Macho loses. WrestleMania 7, 1991 to the Ultimate Warrior. Can you believe it? Now, I'm not crazy about the storytelling and ending right there of this. The Ultimate Warrior goes over on the Macho King and Queen Sherry. All right, fans, this is part 2 of WrestleMania 7. Don't go anywhere. We still have plenty of time. Come back for WrestleMania 7, part 3. The big one is coming between Slaughter and Hulk Hogan. Don't you dare miss it.